Okay, so a few years back in my craft room, I had found this neat little idea for like faux Roman shades, and I had made them for my craft room, which is now somebody else's office. So we painted. There's residue from the paint, evidence that we did it, even though I didn't record it because I'm gonna learn one day that I'm trying to build my YouTube. Thanks for joining. And we bought a rug, painted, and we're changing these out. She likes the light to come through. It's shady in the backyard, which is where the windows are at, but it has a lot of windows for, natural light. And so we're gonna take these that I had for me, and we're gonna go with this really sheer, pretty, I don't even know what color to call it. It's not coral, it's not mauve. It's just a really pretty dusty pink, and it's gonna let the light through, but it's also gonna give her the sense of that, she's got some privacy in her room. So that's what we're gonna be doing next. Okay, I'm gonna have to come in and do a voiceover because I was talking the whole time I was making this video, and I just have a really poor setup. I'm using my phone and a ring light, and so you really can't hear some of what I'm saying. And here I was trying to see if it was going to fray when I cut it because this particular material, I didn't think it would. Because honestly, this is the kind of material that people would use for like a formal wear kind of thing. But she wanted the sheer because she wanted that light to be able to shine through her windows into the room, and also feel like there's a little bit of coverage and give it, an aesthetic appeal. So it totally worked. It wasn't going to fray. And honestly, it would have been so much easier had I had a rotary blade because that's typically what you would use for this kind of material. And it was also very hard to draw on it with my chalk, my wax chalk, or any kind of mark for that matter, because it's just a really shifty material. So I kept saying that I wasn't ready. It's welcome to my show, like I think I'm gonna go make a video about this, and then I'm never ready, guys. I think I have everything I need, and then I sit down and there's like at least 5 things I forgot. So I kept saying, do better than me. Don't do like me, do better than me. So definitely keep that in mind. Make sure that you just, at least have everything in the house that you could get to. So I cut one of them, and I should have measured because the material, it was only supposed to be, I think, 3 yards, and typically it was supposed to be a width wise, I think 45 to 55, but it ended up being over 60 inches wide. And so I was able to get all 4 panels cut because they're just really small windows in the back. It was added on to the house as a craft room specifically. So they added a lot of wall plugs, electrical outlets rather, and windows for natural light. And here I cut the one, and then I was like, oh, let me see. And the material, the nap of it, which it doesn't have a nap, so ignore that word. But the grain of it rather ran in one direction. And I had cut one, and so it was the vertical line, and then so I decided that it was just going to work better and I was going to be able to get all 3 panels, but my line was shifting from vertical to horizontal. So yeah, but it's okay. Like, I know nobody else knows. Nobody else is going to notice something like that unless they craft or very attention to detail oriented. And I am. So I know it, and nobody else knows it until they watch this video. so so there's that. Yeah, it's fine. It turned out really pretty. It looks great, and she's happy. The material looks really, really good in the window. So I was also in the video talking about how, homecoming. And here I'm going to show my age. I'm 37. I graduated in 2003. When we went to homecoming, guys, we didn't spend all this money on dresses, nails, hair, makeup, and all this, and then go to the dance and only stay 30 minutes tops and then leave after taking pictures. And not, we closed the dance out and we wore our Sunday clothes, or we just, kind of dressed up like we was going out to a party in the field. I'm from the country, so like we did that. We went to the end of dirt roads. It's a real thing. Like to go out into a field and have a bonfire and everybody just kind of hang out and with your friends and do your own little thing out there. Which we were probably underage drinking. Don't do that. But here I am, 37, and I'm saying we used to close those dances out. We never just spent all this tons of money and then just didn't even be there for 30 minutes and then leave. It was crazy. So anyhow, I pinned all my next 3 panels together. They're all the width that I need them to be. And I was going to try to make sure that they're not square. I was trying to make sure they were all square. They were not. So I pinned them just to make sure that none of that shifted. And I figured that if I got some more weight to the material while I was cutting it, that it would be easier to cut, because the shears were the material was slipping through the shears as they cut, and it was kind of pulling back, and so it was making my line all wonky. It wasn't a really straight line. So that being said, I did this to try to kind of give me a little bit more weight in the material to make my cutting easier, since I did not have that rotary blade. So tell me about your homecoming. Like, did you go to the dance and like close out like we did? We used to have fun. We danced at the dance, like we didn't go for just the pictures. We went to have fun with our friends and everybody. So yeah, tell me about yours. Okay, so since I had decided to leave the edges raw on the sides, I'm going to just have to sew the pockets on the top and the bottom for my tension rods to be able to go in. And ultimately, here I added 3/4 of a line for 3/4 of an inch, which would fold over into 1.5 inches of a pocket, which the tension rods were 1.25 inches. But I think I had already added 1 inch whenever I had did my original measurements, because I usually add 1 inch whenever I'm writing down cuts instead of final length that I need. So I was trying to look for a ballpoint needle. I don't think I had any, and ballpoint needles with the shifty material is superior. It really is what you should go for. If you don't have ballpoint, it kind of pulls the material. Ballpoint needles just glide through this material. So I just went and found the smallest one I had, which I think was a 9, and I hoped for the best. And my bobbin, for whatever reason, kept getting all tangled up. But I got them done, no biggie. And I got the pocket sewed here. Like I said, they were the 1.5 inches, but I didn't take into account, I didn't think about my seam that I was going to be sewing. So it was a really, really snug fit whenever I put the tension rod in, which was no big deal. It fit fine, and it was kind of a stretchy material, so it's not like I couldn't make it work. But the next 3, I did end up just going a whole inch into my fold, and so that accommodated for that seam, and it fit even better, and I didn't have to try to like fight with the material to make it fit. And I had plenty of material even with marking down into 1 inch, because I seriously think that I just added that extra inch onto my cut measurements whenever I did the measurement at first. So everything worked out fine. Here you see me putting the tension rod in, and I'm fixing to take you to the room and show you how to set it up. I'm not gonna make y'all suffer through me having to do this 3 more times, so I'm just gonna go ahead and snap these on and take it in their office and show you how it sets up. And honestly, the tutorial that I seen, it had another tension rod that would sit in the middle, not attached. It would just be like in the middle of the window, and it would be used has the little spot to prop up the faux Roman part. I'm gonna show you though. I'm gonna show you what I do. Okay, so this is how I do it. You take it and get your tension right in there. You want it to be tight on that top one so that it doesn't move. And they did turn out a little long, but what I do is, and the tutorial that I seen had that extra one that I was telling y'all about right here, and I just felt like it was unnecessary to buy extra tension rod for all 4 windows. So I take it and I fold it like this, and then I grab that, and then, well, heck, I might be telling y'all wrong. There we go. So you go from the back and you grab it, and then you're gonna lift it up, and then you tuck it right there, and then it's like a faux Roman shade. And you could take and pull up more and drop that back more so that you can have like an extra layer of the shade, the faux part of the shade. So, and it's just a matter of finagling with it until it's to your liking. Super easy though, it really is. And I think it turned out looking really good, considering that it was such a shifty material. I do think it looks really good. And so she could put it up like this to give her, like, you know, that element of design whenever she's doing her YouTube videos, her podcasts and stuff. Or she could pull it down, and she picked this material because she really wanted the light to come through. So she'll just be able to do it just like that, and it'll stay taut in the window. I think it's pretty cool. It's easy. It's a lot easier than what I made it seem in the video in there showing y'all. So yeah, do better than me and get better material than that. Don't get that shifty material whenever you're doing these, because the bulk of it, the weight of the material itself does make a big difference. And I hope this helps. If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to go in and comment, like, share, and subscribe to my video. Well, subscribe to my channels, but love my videos. All right, see y'all later.